Got a jam-packed show on the sports news here today as Gemini James McIntyre is going to come in and talk some boxing. Team Heat's along for the ride. They're going to be chatting about baseball. Also, Lori from Kestrel Ridge going to talk to us about what's going on in the golf world as well. All of that and more as the headlines coming up next, presented by the Red Zone on Regent right here in the Sports News on Channel 57 Sports. Hello and welcome to the Sports News, your 30-minute look into the tackles, hits, checks, and dunks that make up the local sports scene. I'm your host, Rich Reynolds. Let's hit the ground running. They say that the third time is the charm, and for the Madison Radicals and their home schedule this season, that's absolutely true. After a bitterly cold opener in April and a rainy Friday night last week, Breese Stevens Field was sunbathed and warm on Saturday for the fans and for the Radicals as Madison improved to 6-0 on the season and won their 26th straight home game, defeating Cincinnati 36-23. The Rads outscored Cincinnati 10-2 in the fourth quarter to seal the deal. Well, this week, the Madison Capitals USHL hockey team decided to keep it in the family as former Badger and current Minnesota Wild and Capitals owner Ryan Suter introduced his brother, Garrett Suter, as the new general manager and head coach of the Caps. Suter becomes the third person to hold those titles in the three-year existence of the franchise. Fighting just 9 days after winning the ABO Regional Welterweight title at the Alumni Energy Center, local boxer Deontay Bumaye Wilson fought last week on Fox Sports 1's Premier Boxing Championships. Despite outthrowing and outlanding his opponent, Wilson, who fights out of the Supreme Hits boxing gym in McFarland, lost a unanimous decision in the four-round bout. Wilson vowed that he will tighten things up before his next fight. Two baseball teams from Wisconsin are still rolling along in the NCAA D3 playoffs as both UW Whitewater and UW La Crosse advance to the Division III World Series. Both the 8th-ranked Eagles and 14th-ranked Warhawks will play Friday night against different opponents at Fox City Stadiums in Grand Chute, which is right outside of Appleton. And sad news in the world of local sports as former Madison West swim coach, that is, and Madison Sports Hall of Fame member Tom Hargraves passed away last week. In 31 years, Hargraves coached the Regents boys to 13 WIAA state championships while also leading the girls to 7 state titles and a 64-match winning streak. Hargraves passed away of natural causes at the age of 79. For more information and all the 411 on our headlines, check out these fine websites. Stick around, we have a jam-packed show as we'll talk baseball with Team Heat, Madison Memorial Track, golf with Kestrel Ridge, and boxing with Gemini James McIntyre, and a lot more. Next on the Sports News right here on Channel 57 Sports. And still kind of fresh off of the Canelo Alvarez-Amir Khan fight, we get to talk some boxing now and get to bring it more local as we bring in Gemini James McIntyre. Speaking of fresh off of something, he's fresh off a trip from the Bahamas. So nice to have you back in. James, how you doing?
I'm feeling good.
Yeah, you got someone sitting right next to you there. Can you tell us who that is?
Yes, I do. Not so much local anymore either. We got the newly crowned Wisconsin Open Division state champ, Marcus Johnson, who just went to national, so he ain't just local no more. I'm gonna let you guys talk straight to the champ.
Terrific. Hey, how you doing today, champ?
Doing well, man. You?
Good, real good. Now, Marcus, I did get a little background on you, and so on the beginning of your career and your life story, it wasn't all rainbows and sunshines, was it? Tell us a little bit about your background.
So I started learning boxing when I was around 17, 18, just kind of dabbling. My father was a boxer, grandfather, my uncle, so it was just something that, the family was already kind of into. Nothing too serious at all, mostly just in their spare time or at gyms, but just got me super interested, and I started going to the gym trying to learn the craft, and a lot of years of being in the ring with James and a few other boxers that really helped teach me the way of boxing correctly.
And it's definitely a tough craft, and learning how to do it right is tough. I mean, it's a learning process. As you're learning and as you're going along, you're getting better and better at it. What have you learned about the difference between winning a fight and losing a fight?
Man, honestly, winning fights is awesome, and the best part about winning is knowing you went up against the top opponent. So I'd say unless you really, when fights are easy, winning doesn't mean as much. But when they're difficult, rigorous, it means so much more to get that win, especially even if you lose. Like it's a good thing to lose. It's not always bad, especially if you're going up against top competition. There's never no shame in that ever. Absolutely.
What was it like for you to finally, win a state championship in the Wisconsin Golden Gloves, but also being able to fight at nationals?
Man, it was great. It's something I've always wanted to do since I've been boxing. I've always wanted that title of just being state champ, and it happened for me. It was just my time. Boxing's been great. It was just awesome, a tremendous experience going out to Salt Lake City too. That's a really nice city. I'd love to go back again.
Yeah, talking about the experience, what was the most important thing you bring back?
Probably the experience of the pace of the fight. A lot of these guys out, like when you just do local shows, you never know who you'll go against. Sometimes they're really good, sometimes they're just average. But everyone at the Golden Gloves Championship was great. So just to get that experience of the pace of the fight, the pressure that they put, the way the thinking that they put into their fight, the speed, the strength, everything, it was just really eye-opening for me to see not only what I have to do to get on their level, but just what some of these other guys are doing that maybe I'm not doing.
Absolutely, good stuff. Marcus, James, thank you so much for joining us here on the Sports News today.
Thank you, appreciate it.
All right, let's head out to the track right now as we bring in the head coach from Madison Memorial High School and the girls team. That's Drew Slempkes, and also the senior captain, Carly Huggins, who are here today. And guys, thanks so much for joining us. And let's talk, as we're starting to enter now tournament series time, what are some of the things that we can be looking for from the Spartans?
Well, we're looking forward to competing on Monday. We'll be regionals out at Middleton High School. They're hosting. Looking for our girls to compete and really compete at the levels they're capable of. We got a strong distance group, as well as a couple throwers that have really good shots at getting through to sectionals. And then our sprint core is going to have to compete, but they have a great opportunity as well of sending relays and some individuals to sectionals up in Holman.
Now for you, Coach, this is your first year as the head coach, and what can you tell us about the competition that's in the conference in the area and how Memorial's been fitting in with all of that?
We just had our conference meet a couple weeks ago down in Beloit, and our team finished 4th, which is exactly where we were aiming to compete this year. We are one of the strongest, Big 8 is one of the strongest conferences in the state. There's other pockets, Milwaukee area, Fox Valley, and even into that lacrosse. Wausau West has a great team. But as a whole, top to bottom, and across all the events on the track, the Big 8 is one of the strongest in the state. So goal is to get to 4th place, which is our highest finish, I think, in the last 7-8 years. And we did it across our event groups, which is what we're looking for.
Great job, yeah. And Carly, for you, I mean, big news. Next year, you get to compete at the Division I level in college, which is fantastic. What have you learned from high school that's going to help you transition to college?
Well, I'll be at D2 actually, but I think a lot of just the training and knowing what works for me, the running, how to run, I guess, in season and off season, I think will be really important to carry over into college.
What do you think so far has been the best part of being a high school track athlete?
I think just getting to compete, get outside in the summer towards the end of the year, it gets kind of like the same thing, and just being able to mix it up towards the end of the year and be active.
Now, there's also a lot of kids, I'm sure, that are interested in coming into track, freshmen that are coming into Madison Memorial. What would be your advice for someone that's coming in onto the team?
I would say go out and try it. Don't be afraid to do it. Make friends with the upperclassmen. They like to help you out. They like to give you the advice that they wish they had. Yeah, there's a lot of good people that you can connect through if you just talk to everyone.
Absolutely, and quickly, because it's there and it's out there, what do you think is the best track movie of all time? Putting you on the spot.
Yeah.
I was going to go with The Ringer. Is that okay, Coach? Can we go with that one?
I'm going with Pre.
There we go.
The great
Perfect.
Steve Prefontaine biopic.
Excellent stuff. So check it out, and thank you for being here. We'll have more right after this on the Sports News on Channel 57 Sports. Well, this past week in Wisconsin was exactly what you're looking for if you want to go out and do some golfing. And if you're also looking to do some golfing, we got the perfect person in here right now, as Lori Brown is back with us from Kestrel Ridge. And Lori, thanks for joining us. And I think what people really should be focused on is memberships. It's early in the season. Grab a membership. What kind of memberships do you guys offer?
Well, we have a huge variety of memberships, actually. We have memberships starting at only $345, and that accommodates people that are looking to just golf, during the week. Maybe they don't like to come out on weekends when the course is packed. And it's a walking membership as well, which is awesome exercise. You can get an awful lot of steps in just walking 18 holes.
It'll show in your Fitbit watch.
I know. I've checked it out. Yep, it's quite a few steps. You can get anywhere from 10 to 12,000 steps actually golfing, walking 18 holes. It's an amazing workout, and there's an awful lot of people that really enjoy that membership. It's kind of quiet in the mornings. They get out, get their walk in, get some golf in. It's wonderful. We also have some offer corporate memberships. So if you have a couple other people you work with, we usually require to be about 5 people from each company. Those memberships are starting at $750, and that includes unlimited golf with a cart any day of the week. So it's really, really reasonable. We have a really great reciprocal program.
I love that word, by the way. That means a lot in golf memberships, doesn't it? Yeah.
Yeah. It's a reciprocate business with 30 other courses, and it's an awesome deal, and that makes it just a huge value to the memberships that we offer.
Absolutely. And a lot of people will ask me too, okay, so is Kestrel Ridge private then? Are you private or public?
A little bit of both, actually.
Okay.
I mean, we're open to the public, and but we, like I said, we do offer obviously a wide arrangement of memberships, but we're absolutely open to the public. Speaking of that, we have a tournament coming up June 18th on Saturday. It's Father's Day weekend, so it's perfect time to get a group of people out there. It's going to be a par 3 shootout. We're going to change the entire course to each hole be just a par 3, and that's open to the public. Our tournaments are open to the public, our leagues are open to the public, and obviously our daily golf.
And a little tip for you, dads love to golf too. So let's talk to Twilight deals and specials that you have. What do you got going on, Lori?
Every day we offer golf for $22. That's 18 holes with a cart.
Wow.
Anytime after 2. And it's unlimited golf. So
excellent.
You can come anytime after 2 and get as many holes in as you'd like, and actually it's staying later, so you can get quite a few holes in each day. We also are doing to cater to those that maybe can't get out of work quite as early. We have it's for $25 you can golf 9 holes, and that includes a 6-pack of beer.
Wow, cool.
So
Very good stuff. Lori, thank you so much. Check them out online as well for all the specials as well. Thanks, Lori.
Thank you.
Love talking baseball and love talking Team Heat as well, because Team Heat, one of these local travel teams, is really one of the best and will help you get seen by college recruiters. And as proof of that, we're going to bring in a couple of former Team Heat members here now, as we have Nelson and Ben Rortvedt, who are joining us right now. And gentlemen, thanks for joining us, and I want to talk about college. Jared, I know you're already there. Ben, you're going there. If you guys could, talk about your schools for us, please.
I currently attend Southmount Community College. I play catcher in Phoenix, Arizona.
Okay.
I'm a senior at Veronier High School, and I'm committed to the University of Arkansas. I'm also a catcher as well, and so it's just nice getting down south and being able to play in the SEC conference.
I bet being able to play and practice year-round is always good stuff. So talk about your schools and how they got a chance to see you for the first time, because a lot of people don't understand, how does that whole process work?
Well, being in Arizona, it was hard for me to get in front of my school, personally, but it was good for me to send video down to them, and they were able to see me in action.
For me, just being able to attend bigger tournaments in the summer and get in front of the coaches, it was kind of cool for me because Arkansas didn't actually come to see me play. They came to see our pitcher play, and I was catching the pitcher, and they liked what they saw. They kept coming back. That was a tournament in Missouri. They saw me a couple games, and then they invited me on a recruiting visit, and fell in love with it. And no turning back from there.
Excellent stuff. It's always good when they like what they see. And talk about, too, a little bit the difference between playing high school baseball and then being on a travel team. So what are the main differences?
I would say, I mean, not only just the competition is totally different, but it's way more competitive, obviously. But just meeting new guys from all over the state or all over the country, it's a whole different experience. And it's just a ton of fun.
Yeah, I mean, high school, it's all the dudes that you've been playing with since Little League ball, and it's just fun having those memories for high school. But then summer ball is a lot of people coming together. Usually, it's the select kids from high school that really take baseball in stride and really enjoy it and have a passion for it. And so they all come out with a team, and it's a lot more competitive, and there's a lot of better ball players in the summer.
How about tips for like guys that are in high school right now that are playing ball? How do they get to the next level?
Well, you obviously got to work hard towards it. That's the most important thing. If that's what they want to do, and that's my biggest recommendation for them is just to work hard and have a love for the game.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Yeah, and quickly, and Ben, maybe I'll ask you, favorite moment of playing with Team Heat? Well?
For me, I mean, just enjoying time with all the team and just the teammates and all the camaraderie is always a blast. Just meeting new friends and lifelong friends. I mean, I'll never forget it.
Great stuff. Ben and also Jared, thank you for joining us here, and we will have more right after this on Channel 57 Sports. And joining us now on the sports news, boy, oh boy, this is very exciting. We have Hall of Fame quarterback Joe Montana, who is joining us, his wife Jennifer, and also Dr. Suzanne Steinbaum, and they are here to talk to us about not football so much as we are going to be talking about Break Away from Heart Disease and a movement for everybody to know about their heart health history and their family's history with us. And Joe, Jennifer, Dr. Suzanne Steinbaum, thank you for joining us.
Thank you.
Yeah, and we'll start with Joe and Jennifer, if you could. Tell us about your personal connection, if you will, to heart disease.
Well, I'll start. My father had a quadruple bypass at the age of 59 and then passed away at the age of 60, which was a big signal to me that heart disease obviously runs in our family, and it's something that we have to watch out for.
And for me, I was diagnosed. I had my family history in front of me, which I kind of ignored for a long period of time until after I retired. I went to the doctor, a routine checkup, and next thing you know, I had high blood pressure and high cholesterol, and two big risk factors for heart disease. And started looking back at my family history. My grandfather passed away at 54 from heart disease. Two of my mom's siblings had heart attacks in their early 50s to mid 50s. So it was there. I just didn't believe, like most Americans, that it would ever happen to me, especially at that age.
Yeah, it's absolutely amazing. Like in my family, it's the same way. I just recently had a stroke about a month ago, and it's all through family history and high blood pressure and all of that. So it definitely is a huge factor. And Joe, I got to imagine with you being a professional athlete, having an active lifestyle, it had to be pretty shocking to get a diagnosis that, hey, you had high cholesterol and high blood pressure. How did you handle that?
I think it was difficult at first. Knowing that I had to start making some changes in my lifestyle. Obviously I had a great coach beside me with Jennifer and helping me make those changes. And I always like to say the best thing you can do is for changing, or nobody likes to change their diet. So what I did was, which I had success with, was start with portion control, because I was like everyone else. I want food and I want a lot of it, especially when you're playing. So. And that's why this was a great campaign for us, and the team that's put together here is awesome between Amgen, the American Heart Association, and Schwinn. We're trying to get an awareness out there about find out what your heart history is in your family and in your own, and also get active. And here it's getting active through cycling. There's events on our website, breakawayfromheartdisease.com. That are coming up. You can find ways to get involved. If you can't be at them, simple thing to do is take a picture of yourself on a bike or a stationary bike, upload it to the website, get entered into a contest to win 2 Schwinn bikes, and it also triggers a donation to the American Heart Association. So But we're just happy to be a part of this movement.
Yeah, and being a part of it, one thing, I guess, my question would also be, how did you first become a part, break away from heart disease? And then also, how can our viewers become a part of it?
Well, we were approached by MGen because they had heard about, I've been talking about my situation before, about being a part of this. And as soon as we saw what it involved and what it was about, and knowing our family history, knowing the things that we are trying to educate our kids about at an early age because of their risk, basically because of our histories, it was a perfect fit for us.
And Doc, now as we turn to you a little bit, talk to us if you could about the impact of heart disease in the United States and actually why it's so important to actually know your own family history.
Heart disease is the #1 killer of all Americans. About 40% of people will have some form of heart disease, and it really comes down to the risk factors: high blood pressure, high cholesterol, diabetes, smoking. Family history is so significant in this. But here's the piece of it: 80% of the time it's preventable. If you go to your doctor and get your numbers checked, change your lifestyle with diet and exercise and sometimes medication if necessary, you can prevent heart disease. That piece of family history, though, allows us an insight into understanding how significant your risk is, and getting checked as soon as possible is critical.
Yeah, and Doc, I would say, it's also very important that you do see your doctor. You just don't want to rush into changing your diet and exercising right away without seeing a physician, don't you?
You have to go see your doctor and really understand your risk factors. And from that moment forward, you have to really put your mind to it and change your life. Get healthy by eating a heart-healthy diet and also by moving.
Yeah, I think this is great stuff for all of our viewers and so they can get involved in all of that. And before we let you go, I just did want to say I was always a big Joe Montana fan, but my grandfather, you were his all-time favorite. So it's a real honor. Yeah, real honor to be talking to all of you today. We thank you so much for joining us here on the Sports News, and hopefully we can get a lot of our viewers involved. So thank you, guys.
Thank you.
Our thanks to all our guests and sponsors and everybody that made this show possible this week. And also a special thanks, too, to Rick and all the boys over at the Red Zone on Regent Street. Check them out for lunch or online at redzonemadison.com. We'll see you next time right here on the Sports News on Channel 57 Sports.